What the heck happened to this room?
Hey guys, so this video is going to be a bit different, although let's face it, I think that pretty much all of my videos are becoming a little bit different. I'll explain what's going on in a minute, but first off, I want to demonstrate what's going on with these little flexible whiteboard things that my dad made me at his school. He took little, I don't even know, they are pretty much flexible whiteboards, but I think that they're literally just a piece of paper in a little thing. He gave me 4 of them. One of them, I still have stuff written on it from one of my second channel was a thing. I would write notes when we were watching Doctor Who on what people were mentioning. If you can make out what any of that says, 5 points. I do like how, I remember, I would get frustrated, because while you can erase them, it's not that well. Yeah, because you can see, right? Surely, what the frick? Here, see? I have one clean side left, and I'm sure as hell not wanting to use it, because it's the last clean side. Everything else, you can still kind of see what's going on. Now, I had a red, a blue, a black, and a green marker that I would keep in the same pocket of the backpack that I kept those. Where are those markers now? Believe me, if I could tell you, I would. So, I walked over to the dollar store to grab some new permanent markers. Look at that. I got just a whole bunch of colors. Let's start my little Among Us stop motion videos with these things. But I still don't have a green. So anyway, I guess it's time to open these things. So. Alright, so I finally managed to get it open, thanks to my incredible biting skills, and we are going to be using the black marker. Why am I using black? Because I am dull as dishwater. I'm saying that because I heard the phrase on, I don't want to risk messing up. I heard it on a review of Back to the Future 3 from 2 random guys in the 80s. The first YouTube movie reviewers is who they are. Now, how close do I have to be for you to see anything? First off, I can't erase it, right? What the hell is this crap? Can I erase it with a Kleenex? Because I don't know, okay, I also got rid of it. Okay, so I guess I should explain what the hell it is I'm doing, shouldn't I? So, when I was a kid, and by kid, I mean, okay, I guess I should start from the beginning. Sorry, as you can tell, my videos aren't even close to scripted. They are the furthest thing from scripted. But I went to a private school. And this private school went from grade 1 all the way up to grade 12. I went to it from grade 5 all the way up to grade 12. Now, at the end of each school year, they would always hold a talent show at a church. Not that the school was religious, just where else would we hold it? Because our school was literally so small, we could not possibly hold an actual talent show. But people who ran the church were very nice people who allowed us to use their space. And so naturally, very few people actually wanted to be in it. So the teachers and principal would, every year, try to make us think that we had to be in it. Even though, obviously, I'm older now, and I realize, even if we did have to be in it, it would be the end of the school year. So it's not like they could punish us if we bailed out. But as a kid, you're just not smart enough to realize that kind of stuff. You just assume that adults have this super high power or whatever. Now, I remember there was stuff, like in grade 5, the first year that I ever did a talent show, it was we would just play our recorders. Literally. Those musical instruments recorders. Sounded awful. I remember I did lead them in once, though. I did the, okay, 3, 2, 1, go. And I was so proud of myself for doing that. Then, I did a total of 3 different plays. Before I finally realized that it was all a trick and I didn't actually have to be in it. The first of these did get recorded, and that video has been on my channel for a while, but it has always been privated. I would only send it to my family members because I was so embarrassed. It was a recreation of the Who's on First play. The thing where two people are talking about a baseball team, and the joke is that the members of the baseball team somehow, their actual names are who, what, I don't know, and then like on the outer field there's like because, tomorrow, today. So as they're talking, one of them is saying, oh, like of course the title is because someone would ask and say who's on first, and of course it's a question. He's asking who is the individual that's on first. And then the guy would say, yes, that's correct, because he's taking it as a statement, as to say, oh yeah, the guy who is named who is on first base. If you already know the joke, then this is obvious, but like, I'm just saying it in case if you haven't heard the joke. And it's a whole bunch of shenanigans. I think the only, to be honest, I haven't seen the video, because I'm too embarrassed to look at it. I do remember that the one thing that I definitely added in myself was, because it's a baseball video, I thought it would be funny. It was kind of funny. It was probably the only funny thing about the entire thing. Is the guy who's asking all the questions to eventually get so fed up that he picks up the baseball bat that he had with him and chases after the other guy with it. And that's exactly what happened. The problem is that the guy who had the baseball bat and was asking the questions ended up getting stage fright and openly admitted to it. It kind of sucked. I remember he had trouble memorizing his lines, so he would literally have a baseball glove and he'd have a piece of paper with like, well, obviously we couldn't fit all of his lines onto it, but we could fit like little cues. And it didn't end up going that well. People did laugh though. I'm gonna actually link it down below in the description and you guys can watch it yourself. I don't think I'll make it public though, because I don't know if I want people stumbling on it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe my channel's gonna get terminated. Who knows? Being a YouTuber is stressful as hell. I remember I was talking to our math teacher and he said, it was unfortunate that the guy who I was with did end up getting stage fright. But I remember him distinctly saying, I guess it happened the way it needed to. In the sense that maybe people were so familiar with the sketch that it was already so familiar to them, and maybe they wanted something. Maybe the guy who had stage fright, maybe it seemed like that was part of the sketch, That's an advantage of being in a play, is that you're not forced to concede to multiple viewings, Like, if you mess up in the play, chances are the audience has no idea. They might think that's part of the show. You could try and work it in, quickly clean it up or whatever. The only way that anyone could possibly notice it is if they're recording it. But even then, like, they already saw it and you already got their money, so whatever. Now, the second one that I was in, I was quite proud of. And in fact, I've been spending the last few months feeling very bad that it wasn't caught on camera. Because I remember it's probably the best performance that I'm ever going to give, because I learned almost soon after that acting is hard. And, yeah. But, the second play that I did was also based on an Abbott and Costello play. Abbott and Costello are the guys who was on first. This one was called 7 into 28. Now if you really want to see it, it's on YouTube. I'll probably link it down below. But I don't know, maybe you guys want to listen to me explain it first. I had a different guy as my sidekick. I think that the first guy even had already left the school by then, and he didn't want to be in it. But then he decided that he would when the whole "we're forced to be in it" thing came up. But then, all of a sudden, when the principal said, okay, it's time for rehearsals to all the people who are in the play, those words got him upset. Because they kind of gave away that he didn't have to be in it. And there were a lot of middle schoolers who weren't in it. And in fact, I myself was pretty insulted too. But the thing is that I was really excited to do it by then. He unfortunately wasn't. I remember that he was crying in another room because he was stressed out. He didn't want to be dragged into something that he didn't have to do. But the teacher managed to talk him into it. He said, hey, you said that you would do it. Come on, just help your buddy out or whatever. We didn't rehearse it in front of the whole school. The thing with the Who's on First thing is that I had to rehearse it in front of everybody. The problem is that the guy who I was with wasn't there. So I literally had to do it by myself, and I was reading out all the lines. It's so stupid. So dumb. Point is that with our 7 into 28 skit, we only had to do it in front of the principal herself. We started doing it, and I remember she had to leave for some reason. And we just kind of waited. And then when she came back, she's like, "Did you do it?" As if she expected us to continue rehearsing without her there. I don't know. I mean, I guess we could have, but it seemed weird. I guess maybe she thought that we would try and say, "Oh, well, we did it without you, so we don't have to do it again." But, whatever. Anyway, the day finally came, and it went quite well. Now, I just realized that I don't actually remember how the skit goes, so give me a second. Okay. When you've seen the skit as many as when you've done the skit and you've seen the skit so many times, all I need to do is watch 3 seconds of footage over the first part, and I know the rest. Look, just watch. Just watch. Sorry, I don't mean to sound pretentious. I am trying to recreate an experience by talking about it when it was never filmed. But, anyway, so. Obviously we didn't have these. We had an actual whiteboard. So we got on, and it was time for the show. So, of course, we didn't want to do a complete recreate skit. Also, we don't even really understand what they were trying to do in the first one. We didn't at the time. But, so we started the skit by arguing. Frick, give me a second. So, the guy who I was playing owed another guy money for working for, what was it, $7 a week? No, it would make more sense if it was $13 a week for 7 weeks, or $13 a day for 7 days. Something like that, I don't know. We were middle schoolers, we were just making some random bullcrap up. And the point is that I either didn't have enough money or just didn't feel like paying him the actual amount of 7 times 13. So, for whatever reason, I decided to say that I would give him $28, which of course 7 times 13 is way more than 28. And he would say, "No, give me the actual amount," which I honestly don't know at the time. Future me, put up a caption of how much it is, thank you. So, I then decided to pull clever math tricks. Now I remember, in actual math class, I would actually try and pull this off, but I only managed to do the first division segment before my math teacher told me to not do it anymore because he said that he wanted to focus on actual maths. So, I picked up a whiteboard, and in the skit it was just like, "Oh, look, there's a whiteboard here. Well, what a coincidence. A marker, too." So, the idea was to prove that 28 divided by 7 equals 13. So I started. At this point, the principal on the other end of the church was giving us a signal that we weren't loud enough. So we had to, I motioned, I think I worked pretty well. Like, I casually motioned like, "Hey, okay, come over here." So then we moved further down the stage so that we would be closer. Now, we wanted someone, of course, to hold the whiteboard because it would have been too awkward for just the two of us when I'm trying to write and he's trying to write. Now, we did have the third person who said that he would hold the whiteboard, but I remember as we started the skit, I was thinking, why isn't the guy here? Thankfully, the guy was there in the very first row. So, I, again, just had to casually, I looked among the crowd and I was like, oh, you right there, can you hold this whiteboard? I have no idea what the rest of the crowd was thinking. It was very possible that they might have thought that I literally just picked a member of the crowd at random to go and hold the whiteboard, and luckily enough, he came running to go and hold the whiteboard. So, I started by writing a 7, and I deliberately wrote it very small. And then he said, "I'll write it very big so that the audience can see." So I said, "Okay." Look at that. So I wrote it really big. Can you even see that? You can see that. And that was to get the audience laughing. Because that was to like a little like, "Oh wait, did he just break the fourth wall? Oh, maybe this play is a very low production quality," and then I would write the big 7 and it'd be like, "Oh, it was meant to be a joke." And then I would write a more normal size 28. And we would go through it. And we would say, okay, 7 into 2. I really hope that you guys can see this. I really hope that you guys can see this. I'll just do that. I'll just hold it nice and close. So, 7 into 2. He shook his head. 7 will not go into 2. Now, unlike the skit, with a whiteboard, I was actually able to physically take the 2. I was able to just grab it and just wipe it right off the whiteboard in a way that didn't smudge it like that. I guess it's stuck like that. So, I said, open your hand. He opened his hand, put it in. I remember in middle school when I was demonstrating in a math class, I literally had the math teacher. He's just looking at me so confused. Told him, don't drop it, don't lose it, don't get rid of it. Now, 7 into 8 is 1. 7 goes into 8 exactly 1 time. Now, the 7 is getting very big and it's getting very heavy on my shoulder. So I'm just going to plop it right down here. And then 7 minus 8. I think here I might have actually done the actual long division thing. Whereas like, you know, you got, because 7 goes into 8, 1, but it's got 1 left over, so 1 goes right there. And then I would look towards the audience, deliberately, nervously, and say, here it comes, would you mind opening up your hand? I would like to use that too. I took it from his hand, I plopped it right here next to the 1, making 21. 7 into 21, exactly 3 times. 7 into 28 is 13. The audience started laughing a bit. First part, done. Easy from here on out. I think I'm actually using the dirtiest side of the dirtiest whiteboard I have, but whatever. Anyway, next, so, you know, in the skit I say, there we go, I just proved it. But he says, no way, no, okay, you screwed it up. Don't prove it by a division, prove it by multiplication. In the actual skit, we went ahead with the joke, and I said, you want me to multiply it? And he said, I want you to multiply. And I went, react. Oh, like he just spit in my face. Unfortunately, that joke didn't get any laughs, but it's okay. It's part of doing comedy. So, next was to do multiplication, which, to be honest, I don't understand why that's not the first thing that they do, but whatever. So the point is that now I had to prove that 7 times 13 equals 28. Now, unlike division, I just blasted through this as they do in the thing. 7 times 3, 21. 7 times 1 is 7. And at this point, the audience immediately knew what I was doing. They were already laughing. 7 and 1, and 2 and nothing. 28. Now the audience was really laughing. I was really, really proud. To be honest, I wish that I could build up suspense here, but honestly, this is the whole reason that I'm telling you this is because it worked out really well. So, like I said, there is one more way that you can prove this, and that is by addition. As in the skit, I said, you want me to addition it up? Naturally, no laughs. I don't even know why I went ahead with that joke. I guess I just really wanted to stick with the script, but seeing as the joke that it was referencing didn't get any laughs, of course that didn't get any laughs. It might have gotten like one chuckle from a guy. I don't know. Point is, that now was the final step to prove it with addition. I do like that this is the climax, because addition is very simple. And you're just wondering how the heck is he going to screw up this one. Now, I added in a few of my own jokes here. I would write 13, I would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The audience started laughing a bit, but then the guy went, hey, whoa, 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 that's too many 13. I gotta wipe it with the freaking cleaner. There's too many 13s, he said. So I laughed and said, oh, ha ha ha. I looked towards the audience nervously and said, easy mistake. And now, I started counting. What I wanted to do was that I wanted to go 3, 6, 9, 12, like I wanted to go 3, 6, 9, 12, and then he'd interrupt me, and then he'd say, no, let me do the adding, and I said, but it's got to come out right. 3, 6, and I wanted him to interrupt me again. This was just a little nitpick, but we didn't get to do that. I showed him the original sketch, and in that, he goes 3, 6, 9, let me do the adding, that's got to come out right. 3, 6, 9, interrupts again. I really wanted to do this 3, 6, 9, 12 he interrupts, and then 3, 6 he interrupts. I felt that would make it sound a little bit more natural and different, but I guess he didn't go with it. But whatever, there was nothing that I could do. So, then I gave him the marker. Oh, frick, I got 3 minutes left of battery. I'll get to this later. I swear, this isn't just going to end up another unfinished video. Okay, so, everyone was waiting in anticipation. What could possibly be the trick that I was going to pull? So he had the pen and he counted himself. He went 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. I wanted to grab the marker right there. but he wasn't really in a position that it would be easy for me to do that, so I just went ahead and I pointed with my finger. I went 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. At this point, everyone else was already started laughing. I remember, though, it was weird, because as soon as I went 27, 28, then everyone was laughing. It was weird, because like, as I was counting down the 22, 23, 24, there were already quite a few people that started laughing, but then as soon as I hit the 28, I grabbed the marker from it and I wrote down 28, and the whole audience was just erupted in laughter. I was wondering, like, were there people waiting to see if it would actually be 28, or didn't understand what I was doing? I don't know. The point is that then I took the fake, I don't even know if we had prop money. If we did, it was Monopoly money. But like, now, he and the teacher really wanted me to do a final joke and say to him, "What school did you go to?" And then I say the name of our school or something. I didn't want to use that joke. I thought it was cringe. I said it anyway, because I thought that I'd be in minor trouble if I didn't. Because, you know, I was throwing my own stuff in there. This was more of a team thing. I did say it, but because everyone was too busy laughing, no one really heard it. And I remember when I was with my mom and we were just saying goodbye to everybody because it was the end of the school year, and we went up to that teacher and he said he tried to say a joke but no one heard him, which was, and he pointed at me and I just had to say it. It was, "What school did you go to? Blah blah blah," or something. I don't want to give away the name of the school, I don't know. But you can probably find it by, I don't know, I feel a bit bad for being upset because I think the guy still watches my videos sometimes. But I remember once in my early days, he somehow found a Skype account that I had no idea even existed. And he just started writing my full name in comments and saying, "Carolou744 exposed." I took it to heart. I thought it was weird. Yeah, it's okay, whatever. Water under the bridge and all that. I don't think it really matters, you know. Just don't steal my stuff, please. Please. So yeah. That was a situation that unfortunately never got caught on camera, but was really cool. Now, you might remember I said that there were 3 times that I was on stage, and I also mentioned that it was at this point that I realized that our little talent show things weren't actually mandatory. And indeed, the third one, I didn't want to be a part of. It was some stupid sketch. I can't, like, it was based on a children's book where, you know, a teacher was being nice to their students and then the students would take advantage of her. So then she went away, or she pretended to go away, and then a new teacher would come in, which is just her in disguise, but she would be extremely strict. And it'd get to the point where the students would miss the old teacher, and then she'd come back and then they'd be glad that she was there and all that, and then there'd be a little giveaway where she'd be by herself and say like he or something, just something that her evil self said that would give away to the reader, "Oh my god, it was the same person." For some reason, a teacher that I thankfully wasn't in the class of because she was a bit of an airhead, she really, really liked that story. She would tell it to us all the time when I would be in her class, and she wanted some people to do a play about it. Oh my god, it was bad. It was very, very bad. I kind of want to save it to another day, but at the same time, it's not that long. It was basically just, all that happened was, there was a guy in our school, and he I don't know if like, because I know that normally in public high schools, like, everyone is vaping and all that, but at our school, it wasn't normal. Everyone was pretty well behaved, so when someone did come along who was like that, it was kind of a bit weird. He was kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. And he was supposed to just have a little minor part where he was going to give... Oh my god, this is embarrassing to say. He was just supposed to pretend to be the guy who was going to give the principal diploma or whatever. Because the whole play was based around our principal for some reason. It was like a surprise for her. And the first scene was of her getting the ability to be a principal, and he just had to play a role hanging on that thing. The day of the play, he had to go. Like, and not that he had to go, he literally just ditched it. He just didn't care. He literally gave 0 Fs. And she came up to me and literally said, "Hey, do you want to do the part?" And I was like, okay. At this point, I had never seen an actual play in my life, and I didn't realize that it's actually something that people take very seriously. So I was just, the narrator was talking, and then I thought that he was done, and I started talking, and then I was like, "Oh, what? Oh, okay." And I just went ahead. I wasn't taking it seriously. Oh my god. The guy who was playing Jennifer just told me to keep going and it was fine. I remember as soon as that scene was over, she said to him, like, well done. And I was like, hey, what about me? And she's like, you did great. I didn't get to see how the rest of the play went, but I assume it went awful considering when I actually went to my seat, everyone was really trying to hold in their laughter, including my mom. And apparently someone said that someone in the audience said that it was the worst play that they had ever seen. I think it was probably just because that, you know, they were like junior high school students, so they didn't really care. They didn't really want to be doing this. From what I could faintly hear, it sounded like they didn't really know most of their lines. And the teacher was going to be playing her dog. That would, like the principal's dog, that would occasionally be brought into the school. And I assume that was just kind of embarrassing. I don't know, I'm sorry. I feel bad for taking a massive dump all over it, but like... Oh man. I am very, very glad that that wasn't caught on camera. Oh my god. Anyway, this was just a little video diary for me to hopefully just help put my mind at ease. Maybe it wasn't filmed, but your eyes and your brain are nature's cameras, and your words and mouth are your ways of... I don't know. You guys know what I'm saying. I don't know. I hope that this was entertaining enough. I don't know. People have told me that my voice is nice and that I should do audiobooks or whatever, so I hope that some people watched this, some people were able to pay attention, and some people liked my little story that happened at one point in my life. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you did like this, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Comment down why you chose to click what you did click. And subscribe, regardless, to see when my next video comes out. Thanks again so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Oh my god, seriously, look at this. Where the frick did it go wrong?